Good evening, Trina. This is the 2022-2023 School Safety and the Educational Climate Report for the Horseheads Central School District. Now, the state of New York requires this yearly report from every district. It tracks several categories from bomb threats to bullying. The Horseheads District has 7 schools serving more than 3,600 students. Only 1 school reported any incidents.
We have a very good active community and a safe school structure. We have the problems that any household has here.
We sat down with Superintendent Dr. Thomas Douglas at Horseheads High School to go over the district's school safety and the educational climate report. The school district reported no sex offenses, assaults, or weapons found during the 2022-2023 school year. There were also no reported threats of school violence. The report does show there was 1 school-related arrest. It happened at the high school, the only school that reported any incidents. The report shows there was 1 incident of discrimination, harassment, and bullying. It says it involved bias against a disability. 1 student was suspended from school. Law enforcement was also involved. So in this case, this rose to the level.
Basically, you're digging into the report, which is the right way to read it. You're reading exactly right. There was 1 victim, there was 1 offender, there was 1 issue, and it did lead to charges. It has to meet the criteria of what the state says is bullying, and oftentimes a lot of people do not understand that it must be known, it must be severe, and it must be pervasive and ongoing.
There were no reports of cyberbullying. The district reported 14 incidents of use, possession, or sale of drugs.
It's a little over 1% of our student population, but here's one of the things I'd caution on. That 14 could be another student doing it once, twice, or 3 times. So you could have 14 incidents and hypothetically have 1 student that violated it all along. So that's the number you would have to really see if it's a percentage of the student body. That's the hard part.
Before we get to that, yes, this report does even break down what you just described. Number of student 14.
Yep.
In these particular cases. Dr. Douglas says last year the school dealt with about 1,300 disciplinary incidents.
Of that, about 500 to 600 of them were for either skipping class or not coming to school. So you can see the numbers can be distorted. There is a lot of actions in our secondary schools that don't make this report. You could just be hitting somebody in the hall and just typical kids screwing around. But say somebody gets hurt. That might require some type of penalty, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to rise to a violence, discipline, disruption. Can we have good years and bad years? Yes. And then we try to make sure we take care of the kids and help them to become the young adults we expect them to be.
Now, Superintendent Douglas says all of the drug incidents involved marijuana or vaping THC. The report says 1 student was suspended after being caught with alcohol during school hours. That incident also involved law enforcement. To read the full report and to watch our full, unedited interview with Superintendent Douglas, just go to our website. That's mytwintiers.com. Trina.